Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! We have just seen Madam Web. We are going to give you guys a spoiler review. Spoiler review. We're going to be talking about so much good X-Men stuff after this. Positivity abounds. Guys, I'm so excited. Are you guys excited? I'm so stoked. This is going to be so much fun. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to share this with you guys. This is so crazy. It's crazy. It's awesome. I cannot wait. There's so much good stuff happening in the Marvel universe, in the Sony universe, everything that's coming out with Disney and Sony and Warner Brothers. It's all coming together, and it is a great time to be a comic book fan right now. And to talk about this tonight with me, you guys have seen him before. We were on last night's or Friday night show, and I am so excited to introduce once again Drizzleberry Pop-Tart. Let's get him in here.
Ooh,
Drew,
what's up, yo? What's
going on?
It's
so good to see you again, dude.
Thank you. It's good to see you again. I just got back from the local Target. I just borrowed without permission $999 worth of electronics and clothing because, hey,
as you should
borrow it without permission. But I'm a little bundled up right now because apparently the electric company doesn't accept social currency as a means of payment.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Apparently social credit is not a thing. So now I've got to deal with it being cold without paying social credit because I've got 200 friends on Facebook and about 100 likes on Insta, and I got 50 followers on TikTok, but it doesn't pay. So I got to deal with this now, which is I'm thinking about claiming racism.
Wow. Well, you need more followers on those platforms, man. What you are offering with your content is so next level. I don't think people realize what you bring to the table, man. So I hope that you can, make grow your TikTok, and that's fantastic, man. Just keep being positive. Don't be like all these toxic YouTubers and stuff. You don't want to be like that. You want to be positive. That'll, we'll get you in a good place. Maybe you can start a GoFundMe, and get people to fund your cause, and we'll get some of that money coming towards you. But hey, I thank you again for protecting us in the panel, protecting everyone in the chat, for wearing your mask. Guys, be safe out there. Please be safe. Drew,
gotta be safe. It's my aftershock mask as well, because hey, as we all know, when you get knocked down, we get up again. So we're going from aftershock.
Get up again. We get up again, baby. Speaking of popping back up, getting back up again, we've got the Riz Lord himself, the Riz King, host of the Riz Show, Rizzy, Ricky, Rich. What's going on, dude? So
yeah, buddy. Oh, man. Okay. First of all, the aftershock mask. Whoa,
bro!
Man, come on. Dude, I'm so excited to be here, man. Okay. I gotta slow down. There's way too much excitement. All right.
Okay. Sorry. Hold on.
First off, we hit Friday night on our last episode of the Riz Factor. We hit 2.3 million subscribers.
Say what?
What? Oh man! Look! I got this pimpin' Funko Pop hat.
Yo!
Whoa!
It's celebration time. They sent me this Schitt's Creek David Rose. Oh, and to support my favorite movie, Jurassic Park. Oh, blessed, man. Blessed. Dude, so blessed.
Blessed. Oh my God. Those are so good. Thank you so much for showing those off, dude. I'm so excited to have you on the show. Congrats for getting 2.3 milli, boy.
Hey, look, all I gotta say.
Hey, let's go.
Believe in yourself.
Let's go. Believe in yourself. That's what Deadpool would say, right? You got the hearts here. Yeah, believe in yourself, boy. Dude,
you gotta do it again.
I'll do it again for you. Wait for it. There it is. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
So, but Rizzy, thank you for being on. We couldn't have you on Friday, but we're glad to have you on here Sunday night. And go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, it's cool because I was at the. I mean, I don't know if we've announced what we're talking about tonight, but I was at the movie theater watching Madam Web for the second time. I saw it again this morning, man. I saw it again this morning.
You're
Three times. Three times.
So lucky. Oh, damn, dude. I seriously like. I need to go watch it again, man. I only saw it twice, so you're way ahead of me. So
I'm ahead. Before we can I talk about your fit right now? Like your fit right now,
bro. Hang on a second. We got. I mean, did you see peep the Avengers on the bill? I mean, let's go, bro.
Let's go.
Yeah,
I love it.
I wear this every time I see a Marvel movie just to show them my support, just to show them how much I consume, bro. I love all that stuff. So, and like Madam Web has been one of my favorite characters since a kid. Like I had her action figure, bro. I had her bed sheets. Like this is truly like what I've been waiting for as a fan for years, bro. Right?
Same. Yeah. You're right. Right. Yeah.
I love it. I'm vibing off your energy, dude.
Sweet.
I'm so excited for you to be here.
Same.
Now let's get some more energy. Let's get some great vibes in here. Let's introduce the man with the best toy collection on comic book YouTube, the Superior Sparrow. Dude,
what's going on, bitches?
What's going on, dude?
Oh my God, it's so good to see you guys. I'm so psyched. Max, I haven't seen you since we saw Madam Web for the first time. I've seen it 2 more times since then. Dakota Johnson was wrong. I've actually seen it 3 times. It was so great. And you know what? It keeps getting better every time. The themes of female empowerment, you know, they really speak to me. The fact that, you know, Madam Web is a character who really, you know, that her power is her mind, you know, and that's really what attracted Dakota to the role. And that's what really, you know, fulfilled me as a fan because, you know, like you, Max, you know, you're younger than me, but, you know, I remember going to the spinner rack at the Circle K and seeing that first issue of Madam Web #1. And I was blown away. And so I bought it. You know, I'm such a huge fan. I've got her Hot Toys figure. I've got all of the different video games that they've put out of her, you know, back from the original NES, you know, just so excited about Madam Web. And, you know, for me, the moment that she came on screen in her iconic costume, I felt like my entire life had been justified. My fandom, everything was great. Also, Drew, thank you so much for wearing a mask. I really appreciate that. You know, I'm not able to wear one because, you know, it triggers me. It triggers the, you know, like when my dad used to hold his hand over my mouth and scream in my face. It really triggers me to wear one. So I'm glad that you are, you know, taking care of everybody else's health. You know, that's fantastic. Max, also I want to compliment you. At the beginning, you know, like you were clapping, but you weren't actually bringing your hands together. I think point of personal privilege. I think we need to remember people who have auditory issues. So, you know, if we could just do this, that'd be great. We don't want to upset anybody who's in our chat. But so good to see you guys. I'm so glad to be here.
And thank you for recognizing that, Aaron. I also want to just affirm you for your affirmation of me by speaking about how we were clapping earlier. I think that's really important for us to remember. So guys in the chat, thank you for staying positive, for being here with us tonight, and just embracing like all of this great content that we are receiving. We have not received anything bad for the past like 5 years now. Like we're on a hot streak. Like Endgame was just the beginning, right? And we have just seen more and more coming out from Disney, Marvel, Warner Brothers, Sony. Like I'm just so excited. So yes, Aaron, great to have you here. Thank you for being here. Now, before we get into our first topic tonight, I do want to highlight our sponsor for this evening, brought to you by Pfizer, BroFlow, the tampon for dudes. Dudes, let's face it, sometimes life throws us a curveball. And by curveball, we mean that that monthly visitor you never invited. BroFlow is the revolutionary tampon design for the modern man. No more awkward leaks, ruined plans, or feeling like you're sitting on a whoopee cushion filled with chili. BroFlow absorbs even the toughest flow, keeping you dry and confident all day long. Let's be honest, nobody wants to deal with swamp ass during football practice. Am I right, guys? I think we can all, think about that one. So
I'm aware of what football is.
Yes.
I've heard of it, football. Yeah.
I watched watched the Super Bowl because of Taylor Swift. All right, I mean, come on.
I mean, who didn't, right? Like, I think we were all
right?
there. Josh and I actually managed to get tickets. It's not to the actual concert itself, but down the street there's a Chili's to go, and we're going to be able to watch it on the TV there. And the tickets only cost us $750 each. So big win for us.
Oh my gosh,
that's way cheaper than and they're playing the Nickelodeon screening.
Oh my gosh, to see T Swift, T Swifty,
T Swift. With
She's
SpongeBob, man. Like, I do want to just interrupt real quick because of our sponsor for today. Because I'm so glad that we have a platform where we can speak truth about trans men being real men. And this, when I went to go see Madam Web again this morning, they had candy out that I hadn't tried yet, and it's called Nerds Gummy Clusters. Like, look at that. But hold on. I didn't like. If you put me in the middle, you got the blue, the white, the pink. It's like the trans flag, man. Like I had to get both flavors.
God, dude, you're so right. Like that's so awesome. I love that you are thinking about that whenever you're like, and plus you're a nerd, you're buying nerds. It's like, it's so good. It's so good.
It was like divine intervention. Like, what else could it be? What else could it be?
That's perfect. So to finish up our ad and our favorite sponsor for this week, unlike those bulky pads that make you look like you're smuggling potatoes down your pants, BroFlow is discreet and comfortable. You can finally wear those skinny jeans without looking like you're auditioning for the Sausage Olympics. BroFlow, because even dudes deserve a period-free life. Get yours today in the link down below and reclaim your weekends. Brought to you by Pfizer.
I find Max that when I'm using BroFlow, I find that it also helps to get yourself a roll of tuck tape, which will help you avoid those unsightly bulges.
Absolutely, thank you.
and I can attest to if you don't have the money and you need to borrow without permission, some BroFlows, CVS is well stocked. So there you go.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if you're not in California, because California, they put those pesky glass walls up there, and it's so unfair. And honestly, guys, it's a little racist. Am I right? So if we just, I'm thinking to remove those. You guys can get your BroFlows. You guys can get whatever you need, your tuck tapes. And I think that's what's really important for a lot of, non-binary, for different people of different genders and colors. And that's what's important about these things. So yeah, if you can find one of those, excellent point, Drew. Thank you so much. So our first topic of the evening is, of course, Madam Web spoiler review. I cannot believe. You got it!
Buddy. Okay.
Is that one of the official Madam Webcams or Madam Webcams? I can't find those anywhere.
It was tough to find. They're sold out all over the place. I had to go bribe my Walmart manager. We don't have Target nearby, so I had to go bribe my Walmart manager. Like, if you get a shipment in, if you see that Pepsi rep, just grab a case for me, put it in the back, just text me. I'll be there in 5 minutes, and there you go.
Oh, dang.
I went to trash cans, didn't see any. That's wild.
I threw out all of my episode 1 cans to make room for those. So I've got to find them. So if you guys find any of those out there, please make sure. Also, I drank all the Pepsi that was in those episode 1 cans, and it didn't taste right. So I don't know if they changed formulas or what, but just those cans from 1991. It just didn't taste like I expected it to. So I'm really looking forward to drinking some of the Madam Web ones. I think that they're actually calling it Web Fluid.
Oh, wow!
I'm
synergy.
Web Fluid, man.
Very cool.
I would love some web fluid in me, if you know what I mean, right?
Oh, I know what you're saying. You know what I would love is if someone was just spraying web fluid across my face.
Right.
Yeah, amazing. So refreshing. So refreshing.
It is. Hold on. We gotta honor real quick.
My gosh.
Oh, yeah,
Josh, you were on top of it, dude. Thank you so much for recognizing our, even though it's not
allies, man.
It's something that we have to support with this platform. You know what I mean? When we have this type of reach and this platform, we have to use it for these these things that we believe in so vehemently. And I think that's really, really, sorry, I'm getting emotional. I think it's really important. Yeah. So
don't be sorry, Max. Don't be sorry. Let it out.
Don't.
Oh,
We support you, Max. You know,
there's nothing more masculine than showing your emotions. Nothing.
yes. Amen.
Be raw,
This
be
toxic
real, be
masculinity-
honest.
Yes, it's all over this toxic masculinity that I don't understand. It's all over the internet and all these YouTube guys, all these YouTube platforms that just take over this like toxic, they're not making a safe space for other creators on this like website. And it ruins the hobby. It completely ruins the hobby. But all that being said,
if there's one thing Alan Alda taught us on MASH, it is to show your emotions. So look to MASH with Alan Alda. He showed us what a real man's emotions are.
You know what? I would go as far to say that holding back your emotions at any time, even at appropriate times to do so, that's emotional fascism.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that, Aaron. Speaking of Aaron, we do have a $2 super chat from Lane Kramer who says, Soy Sparrow here to write some Meek Mallard comics. Well,
oh my God, it would be such a dream to go back and work for Disney. I think, right now they're at the peak of their creative powers.
Absolutely.
So to be given the opportunity to go in and to work with just a creative genius like Bob Iger, just everything just trickles downhill from him, and to be able to get in there and just really like learn at the feet of a creative master. He came from being a weatherman. Yeah. Which, if you guys watch the news like I do, I watch the news all the time. I watch it 24/7. I just absorb it continuously. MSNBC, CNN. I watch it all the time. Yeah. And, when they have a weatherman come on, like, even if I'm a little bit distracted because, I'm thinking about Ukraine or, I'm thinking about, what's going on in the Middle East, and weeping openly about it. When the weatherman comes on, I'm always very interested because, they really have just such keen creative insights. So to be able to go back to Disney and to learn from, who I consider to be the apex weatherman that the history has ever given us would just be such an honor. So thank you so much, Lane. I really appreciate that. Vote of confidence.
Thank you so much, Lane, again for the $2. That is extremely generous of you. And yeah, I would love to see our main man Soy Sparrow writing some books again. Because these comics that we've been getting recently have been amazing, right? Oh. But just to have Aaron get on that like love train as well, to get more people involved, it would just be amazing, because
agreed.
Imagine Soy Sparrow writing for Disney, dunking on Chuds every single issue of his comic. Oh, that's right. We need him to be back in there.
Look, so. I don't
rebooting X-Men.
Rebooting X-Men, Gail Simone, man. Gail Simone, where would our industry be without Gail Simone? I'm scared to think of that industry. Like without her, that toxic masculinity would have just completely been still running rampant. We would have all these just terrible books, but we've got anyways, I don't want to knock the current writers. Look, on the Risk Factor this week, my pick of the week, the Steve Orlando Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. That's a fantastic book. If you didn't pick it up, go pick it up.
Yep.
Yes.
I love what so many people are doing. But Aaron, our Soy Sparrow, he's just epic level writer. And if we could get him back in, it's the right time, the right place. All those toxic dudes that pushed him out, like a decade ago. It just now's the time. Now's the moment. We need to make it happen.
Well, you know what? I would go back, and I've been asked to go back on a couple of things. But you know what I did is, they came to me recently and they said, "Hey, would you like to write? Would you like to write a new Squirrel Girl series?" And I said, you know what? I really feel that I, as a white, a white man, even though, I present, I'm transmasculine, but as I present as transmasculine, I thought I should really move out of the way for a disabled woman of color. And that's why I've decided not to jump back in and write any books at the big two, because, I think that we all need to do our part to recognize and to honor these marginalized communities. And I think the only way that we can celebrate marginalized communities is by making white heterosexuals the marginalized community.
I agree. Look, see, man, look, I'm gonna be honest. This is why I respect you so much, because I don't know if I would have had the strength to do that. I think I would have been so excited about the project, and like, not to, just blatantly stop anyone. I would have been so excited. That's all I would have been thinking about. But you're constantly thinking about everyone around you that's marginalized, and you were just, lifting out that hand to pull them up. Oh, I'm glad I can call you a friend. I'm glad I can call you a friend. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm getting emotional.
No, I agree. Can I just say, like, you are so amazing. The fact that, because what you're saying, I think, is true. It holds true that only specific people of that specific gender or race should only be able to write those characters. Like, what do we do? Why is some old white dude writing Storm, a female, like a woman of color? I mean, are we back in 1980? No, thank you. So we need to be, this is what you are doing, Aaron. You are putting aside your privilege and saying, no, I am not going to be that person to take up space when someone else can be that writer. So seriously, thank you, Aaron. You were doing what I could not do, and that is something that I need to recognize as myself as well. So,
well, I am really always thinking of other people. I really am, almost a saint in that respect. And I just think it's really important that when you have a character like Squirrel Girl, she should be, she's so representative of a certain community. You really do need somebody with brain damage to come in and write that character, for the authenticity and the representation. That's what's important here.
Yes, thank you. And that's why every time I go on Twitter, I look at everyone's bio, and right away, when I see mental disability or autism, I immediately say she or he or they, them should be writing a Marvel comic book, because they are going to have the learning disability that needs to be in some of these books, because we're not seeing that representation. We've seen able-bodied people writing these books, and it's about time that we get someone in there that has some other disability, be it mental, physical, whatever. So,
Max, I just appreciate you so much. Regardless of talent, talent is just another. A meritocracy is just another form of fascism, and we need to recognize that. And Max, I'm so glad that you're an ally, and I'm so glad that you're out there on the right side of history. Give it up for Max, everybody. Give it up for Max.
Oh, thank you. And give it up for my panel. You guys are amazing. Seriously,
you're amazing.
Fantastic.
You're amazing.
Don't get me emotional again. Seriously. I'm going to need some of these bro flows to wipe some tears away. If you know what I'm saying.
Man.
I stole plenty of them. I'm sorry, and non-permission borrowed. I can send some your way.
Oh, thank you. I actually don't have any money left in my checking account, so that would be huge, Drew. Thank you so much. So let's get into this Madam Web spoiler review, because we saw Madam Web and we did the non-spoiler review on Friday, but tonight, come on, guys in the chat, let's get how many times y'all have seen it in the chat room. Can I get some numbers in the chat as far as how many times y'all have seen it now? Because one is not good enough. Let's be real. Yep. We need to be, I almost said shilling, but shilling our money towards this project.
That's right.
Major operation. And while we think about what some of our favorite parts of Madam Web, I am going to read the synopsis for the movie. In Sony's Madam Web, Cassandra Webb, a paramedic in Manhattan, experiences a near-death encounter that awakens psychic abilities within her. This newfound power allows her to glimpse into the future, specifically events within the spider world. Thrust into the unfamiliar territory of clairvoyance, Cassie struggles to understand and control her abilities. As Cassie grapples with her newfound powers, she encounters 3 young women. Let's give it up for those stars.
Yes, Queen! Yes!
They slay.
Slay. Through visions, Cassie learns that these women are destined for extraordinary futures, as are all women.
All women.
Extraordinary
futures. They don't have to change a thing. It's just you're perfect the way you are, and you'll always be perfect the way you are, no matter what you do.
Thank you. Thank you. and becoming Spider-Woman in her own right. However, their paths are threatened by Ezekiel Sims, a villain seeking to harm them due to his own premonition of their future threat. And isn't that just like every man thinking that
Oh
these
man, he was the perfect personification of the patriarchy. Like, I don't look, I don't say this all the time, and I don't use this word lightly, but I hated that guy. Like, every time it was just like oozing like machismo and like toxic energy and just like all I saw was the patriarchy, and I'm just like, oh, I can't.
Well, the very first scene that we get with him, in the modern day, because there is a flashback at the beginning where he, of course, murders some people with his toxicity, and a gun, which I think we can all agree, we need gun legislation in movies now because too many people are being shot in movies. So, we need gun-free zones in our films. But the next time we see him in the modern day, what does he do? He uses his toxic masculinity to seduce a woman so that he can achieve a goal. As every man does when he asks a woman out or when he approaches a woman. He's using her to achieve a goal, which is very very phallus oriented. So I think that the movie, it just had such a great, so many subtle moments like that where it played out, and you really knew that in this film Ezekiel might be the villain on screen, but really the true villain, penises.
Yes. If we could take it that gun is a representation of the penis, the patriarchy. I learned that in freshman film school. It's a metaphor, yo. So
that's why the bullets are penis shaped, because it's the subconscious need to project the penis into other people's business.
And look,
I didn't learn that's sophomore year of film school. I didn't get the sophomore year. That you just blew my mind right there.
Okay, yeah, no, I understand. I mean, you did move aside for people that were more deserving. So give it up for Drew, everybody.
Absolutely.
Give it up for Drew.
Yeah.
Very cool, Drew. Very cool.
Very, very
You're
cool.
You're a good person.
He is a good person. I mean, if we let me get rid of this. Look at his bio. He's a good person. And we all have, collectively put such great, individual causes that we deem are so important to us. So thank you guys for doing that. I completely agree. I think that when the villain uses that gun in the first scene, he is asserting his male dominance over her by using a phallic object and pointing it at her and saying, look at my masculine phallic object. Yeah. You will bow down to me because I am the patriarchy. And these are all the subtle things that a lot of fans tend to not see, but we as nerds can absolutely see in these comic book movies.
Well, and we being on the right side of history, and agreeing with everything, we're really the resistance. And the way that that we're the resistance is that we agree with everything that's being pushed by every corporation and every news organization right now. So that we are resistant to I don't. What are we? What? Anyway, we resist.
We resist because we are the corporation. We want the corp. You're right, Aaron. Yes, we resist, and we are resisting against everything toxic, and that's why we love to be positive on this show, right? Because all these other people will criticize Madam Web. How many videos have you guys seen that were saying woke Madam Web disaster? Right?
Oh, a bunch of basement dwelling trolls just not appreciating the hard work that goes into these movies. These people, when they sit down, they really dig into the source material. All the Madam Web comics. They really dug in and they said, "Hey, how do we take this beloved franchise and present it in the best way possible?" Because comics have always been woke, so how do we bring that wokeness to the screen and celebrate it in the way that these comics deserve? And that's why I'm so glad that they hire screenwriters that are so familiar with the material and love the material so much. I mean, as much as we do. I just know that everybody who was working on Madam Web was wearing their Madam Web underoos from when they were a kid, just like I am. It's cutting off the circulation of my legs, but that's how important it is to celebrate these things and to get them up onto the screen in the way that we all remember. Absolutely. And that we're all going to be able to enjoy and pass on to future generations.
Yep. Amen.
Wear it out. You wear it out, Aaron.
And to your
wear
point, Yeah, to your point, Max, like, this is why I love us. This is why I love the channels that we have, the things that we do, because there are so many toxic channels, and I spend every day hoping I'm gonna find another channel like ours, another YouTuber like us that's out here just bringing peace, bringing positivity, appreciating the hard work that these people put into these films. And it doesn't happen. And someone sent me a link earlier. They're like, hey, you should check out this new channel. I think you might like it. And I had high hopes, and it was called a popped by culture. Went and looked at it, like it was just more man babies, man, more people complaining about it just I can't, like, I couldn't do it.
Popped by culture.
You just report them. Report them, Josh. Report them now.
Yes,
and listen, they're popped by culture, but it's too white. I mean, look, I know we all I get it.
Sure,
we're not saying we're culture. We're here supporting the culture. We're taking steps
I think
to
that,
elevate and lift the culture.
Absolutely. Yeah. And where we differ, Josh, is that, yes, we're all white males, but by birth, but that doesn't define who we are. Each one of us is transracial in their own way. Right. So that's how we're able to empathize with these groups so much. That's how we're able to really, just recognize our privilege and to push away all the toxicity. And that's why it's all about positivity, positivity.
Most importantly, we have to use, as white men, recognizing our privilege and our status in the world, we have to use our voices to speak for underprivileged groups, because we are better. I mean, we need to speak for the underrepresented groups, because
there you go.
We need to, because we need to recognize that we are less than they are. And so we need to use our privileged voices to speak for them. And that is why we have to stand aside. And
I know, I can tell you got really passionate there.
Yeah.
And, words kind of, but right there.
Yeah.
It's like our president. It's like our president so eloquently said. He's such a great speaker, and he said that poor kids are just as intelligent and as capable as white kids, and he's right. And that's what we need to elevate. With our the whiteness we were born with, we need to recognize that as being superior to other people. We need to speak for them, and then elevate them so that they're above us. Yeah, and that's what I think the president was really saying. I think that, and I think that we need to honor that. I think that give it up for the president, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
All that wisdom, all that wisdom. Everyone's like, oh, he's so slow. No, man, he's intelligent, he's wise, and he's thinking of the right response. That's what he's doing. And
he's not a checkers player, Josh. He's not a checkers player. He seems like he's slow, and he seems like he's not thinking. He seems like he's possibly retarded, because he's considering all of the chess moves with every situation, every little permutation of what he might do and what the best thing for the country is. And that's why things are so prosperous right now. That's why the inflation is at a rock bottom. Unemployment is through the roof. Gas prices are great. Grocery prices are great. I've got so much money, I don't even know what to do with it. It's like I went out, and that's why I've seen Madam Web 3 times already. I've already got tickets for this week for 5 more times, because I don't know what to do with all this money that's coming to me.
We gotta keep spending it on these corporations. They keep giving us such great stuff. We want to go support these films and support these ideas, because they are putting women to the forefront. I mean, Madam Web, Echo, The Marvels. These are just the past 3 most recent pieces of content. Guys, we have finally, I mean, we're still not there. We're making progress. We're not there yet, but we have made such huge strides within the industry right now to have 3 female-led pieces of content within the past few months. That is unheard of, and that's where these women need to be. We need to have them completely take over the industry. I mean, Will Ferrell said it best, when they need to be ready, running the country at this point, because we've had our turn. I think it's about time. And but no, I think that all of you guys have made extremely valid points. So thank you so much. The last thing that I wanted to say about Madam Web, well,
I mean, we could go on forever. There's so much to say about Madam Web. There's so much to unpack.
Putting aside
all night long,
Josh's putting aside Rizzy Rick's toxic channel that he mentioned, that pop by culture or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's forget about that, because like I said, we want to be positive. And these guys sound like a bunch of chuds, like we said, basement dwelling losers that just focus on everything sucks, everything's negative. Hey, how about try it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. You bigot.
That's right.
I mean, it's as easy as that. And like, I really don't get why these guys don't understand that when they don't get good stuff, just don't talk about it. How about that?
Yeah.
It's like if I get a pizza,
Kelly Sue
I
was the
order a
blueprint.
Yes,
Kelly Sue.
she was.
You got to
you.
give it up to Kelly Sue.
So brave.
Yes.
First of all, stunning and brave.
Look, you know what? This past year, a movie came out that all these people were praising and talking about. I didn't care for it, so I didn't talk about it. Like I didn't talk about Sound of Freedom. Okay, that's it. That's what can I say?
Well, we're not going to talk. We're not going to talk about it because
I shouldn't even said the name of the movie. But
there's a lot of
you
allegations.
don't want to promote it. You don't want to promote
a lot.
it.
No, and
There's a lot of baseless allegations. A very far right kind of film. And maybe we should have talked
about
it.
Involved.
But I think that our commitment to positivity and to not in any way judging anything or being critical of anything, I think is it is kind of a double-edged sword when there's something like that you really feel like you should speak out about. But we've got to stay committed. We've got to stay on the right side of history, and the right side of history is never criticizing anything that anybody else has done.
Anything, ever, anything. And that's why I love you guys, because we all agree. We all have this hive mind to agree on all of these social things. And when I forget about something, you guys remind me of something else.
Right.
On Friday, Drew was talking about he's on his 8th COVID shot right now. I'm only on my 6th. I need to step up my game. So things like that, where you guys remind me to be a better person, to live out,
I just came up with a new saying the other day on my tweets that only about one person saw it. It's when you're in the hive, you're in the right. So there you go.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I would maybe workshop that a little, Drew. I feel like I feel like if you Druzy Pop Tart, I feel like if you workshop that a little bit, you could maybe make it rhyme. It'll be a little more pithy, a little more catchy. Because we want to be able to to have like great slogans when we go out there. And we're burning down a library or we're threatening a women's shelter because of all the turfs that are there. We want to have catchy, rhyming catchphrases that we can.
No, I love it. Thank you guys. So let me finish up this real quick summary, and then we'll get to our favorite part of the movie. So the last thing here, Cassie, determined to protect these women, sets out to forge a connection with them while confronting revelations about her own past. This journey forces her to confront her role in shaping their destinies and ultimately embrace her identity as Madam Web. Let's go.
Yes. Oh, I almost clapped.
Oh, yeah, we have to.
Slay Queen.
It's the toxicity. I'm still working on I'm still really working on myself. I'm near perfect, near perfect virtue, but every now and then, like the testosterone that I'm taking those pills.
We
rushing back.
We all are, Sparrow. We all are, and that's why we're each other's safety net. Don't.
And I'll suggest again the CVS I go to. You can non-permission borrow some estrogen shots behind the counter.
Oh, perfect. That's good to know. By the way, Drew, I'm so proud of you getting your 8th COVID shot. You really, you really motivated me to go get mine. I'm getting it tomorrow. And in honor of you, I'm also getting a back tattoo of Anthony Mackie's Falcon saying, do better. Because that's what you reminded me to do, is that I need to do better.
Yeah, amen.
I do think it was his cap though. Like I just I'm hardcore. I think it was Anthony.
Did I say Falcon? Oh my gosh,
you did.
Oh my gosh,
it's okay.
It's okay.
Max, can we edit that? I don't want to upset anybody. Can we edit that?
Yes,
we're
absolutely.
Not live, right?
No. This is just we're recording.
Thank God.
Hang on a sec. Are those chats? Hey. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're live, but it's okay. Hello, my nerdy home. We are live, but that's okay. We will. You know what? We want to stay positive, so we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep on with this energy and this positivity, and we're gonna roll right in to our favorite part of Madam Web, starting to my left, your right. I don't know which one. Drizzleberry Pop Tart, sir. Please give me your favorite part of Madam Web.
Absolute favorite part was the fact how this film takes place in 2003. We have to remember that. Very important year in our past.
It's a period piece. It's a period piece.
It is.
And we have our beautiful young ladies who have, specifically one of which who's on an HBO show, who does show a lot of skin. But in this film, they get rid of the male gaze. I mean, the wrong male gaze they get rid of, which is great. You know, there's two male gaze. They get rid of the wrong one. Yes. So, yeah, she's very conservative in this, but they're dancing to Toxic by Britney Spears in the diner.
My gosh.
Yes.
I mean, we all love that. I mean, Britney. Oh.
With your love and that.
But
my gosh. I was dancing. I was spirit fingering. I could not believe it. She's my girl.
Hey, there's a reason.
It was so good because it also telegraphed the fact that the man was coming. You know, the man was coming to the diner to interrupt.
Toxic. That's right.
Because he is toxic.
It was foreshadowing. It was very subtle foreshadowing.
Yes, absolutely.
See, that's the third year of film studies I didn't get to. You just brought.
Well, it's really the only kind of thing that you get. Foreshadowing is really, you know, it's kind of a new concept, and it's really kind of the only thing the thing you only get when you have a very like I don't want to say you know, far left, but just a very progressive female director. You know, only they can do things like that, like foreshadowing and, you know, the execution of these great story tropes that, you know, we've seen so many times. They subvert them. So you actually like knew that he was coming because of the Toxic song. And that was such a subversion of what you usually get from male dominated cinema.
Yes.
Yeah, and we saw that a lot in Jessica Jones season 2 from her. We saw that in almost every episode from her. She's a genius, this director. And I love it.
Well, everybody says that Jessica Jones season 2 was the best season.
It was. Oh, it was
the best. Yes.
So, I am so happy that you mentioned that Drewselberry Pop-Tart, because this really is, they've put such time and effort and thought into making this a 2003 film that they were like, we're going to get the songs right. We're going to get the technology right. We're going to get the costumes right. It's going to be so on point. It's going to feel like you're back in 03. Loved it. And it just, it reminds us of a simpler time when we didn't have all this political unrest, where people were you know, so much happier and better off. But then, you know, also there's a little bit of you know, we have progressed so far from then. So it is interesting to see, you know, just the juxtaposition. So I'll go down to my main man, Rizzy. What was your favorite part of Madam Web?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask me this because we talked about it, and I've just been racking my brains all day to figure out what I was going to talk about. Because look, clearly I love Pepsi, so all the Pepsi moments. Although I don't know why they weren't drinking the Pepsis in those. I was just like, man, crack it open. It's good for you. Like, just do it. I love Bay. So no.
Oh, they had the Beyonce poster. Oh my gosh.
You know, nothing comes between me and my Calvins. So all those things, those were already just like 2003. Watch over me.
Let's go.
My favorite moment. My favorite moment, man. Like I got hyped. I got hyped in the theater. Okay, like I'm sitting there. I'm stressed out, right? I'm so caught up in this film. I'm stressed out. I'm watching it. I don't know what's gonna happen. You got Ben, right? Ben is driving. You know, they never really said this, but Spider-Man's mom to the hospital.
Yeah, Mary Parker. Mary Parker. Give it up for Mary Parker, guys. Give it up for Mary Parker. Strong.
What a
Parker in the film.
Man. But he's driving her to the hospital. He's got the three girls, our future Spider Women, like, oh, those saints. He's got them in the car, and then Ezekiel, that patriarchal bad man. I'm not gonna cuss. My kids watch the show. I got kids, y'all.
Hey, that's all right.
But then I'm like, they do something to the stoplights. There's this whole like cluster, and I'm like, oh no, he's got him. He's gonna kill our Spider-Woman. He's gonna complete his mission. He's gonna kill Mary Parker. Ben's probably gonna go too. And I'm sweating. I feel sick to my stomach. I had to stop eating my trans nerd candy.
Oh my god!
I'm sweating now. Rick, listening to you
talking about it. Oh.
But then, Madam Webb, Cassandra Webb, in the ambulance, on the roof of a building. plows through this billboard. Ezekiel jumps. He hits him, clears the car. All the girls are safe. Mary's safe. Ben's safe. And I was like, yeah, boy. I yelled it in the theater. I yelled it in the theater.
You yelled it in your public
I yelled
theater?
it in the theater.
Oh,
my kids clapped. I yelled it in the theater.
Bro.
I was trying to tell people this is hype. You get hype.
Dude,
that's my moment.
You are the Riz Lord himself. You are the Riz King.
Riz
Dude,
Factor, baby.
That is so hype. I am so and you're right. This was like the climaxing moment for our heroine for Madam Web to come out of the top. She's literally breaking through the glass ceiling, guys. She's breaking through the glass ceiling in an ambulance, which is a saving mechanism. Like, look at all this allegory and subtext that like people don't normally see.
Saving those girls from the oppression of the male patriarchy.
Thank you, Josh. I think. Are you muted? Josh, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Can't hear you. Are you Josh? Are you muted? Josh,
my bad. I think I'm muted.
Okay.
Look, I was trying not to distract because once I put this up here, I was like, "Oh, it sounded good."
I want to go get some of those right now, just so that I can tell the person behind the counter that it's for trans acceptance. That's why I'm buying these nerds.
Yes, yeah. We
got to permission borrow them. Absolutely.
Why?
That's right. Why would I pay for them? That's capitalism, and that's wrong.
That's right.
Capitalism is wrong. Thank you, Aaron.
Capitalism is wrong. Yo, sorry, I muted because I didn't want to make too much. Hopefully, you can hear. Can y'all hear me crunching?
No, thankfully. But
no.
Okay.
But yeah, no,
that's triggering me. We're good.
I thought it was on my end because I was checking my thing, but it was I was like, is it me? But Josh is muted, so I just want to make sure. But yeah, so thank you. You're great. Your sound is great.
Look, I know I look like your gay friend Josh, but just keep in mind I'm Rizzy Ricky.
Oh, did I say Josh?
Look, look, it's a compliment. I just don't think I live up to Josh.
Well, I'm just glad he did. I'm just glad he didn't dead name you.
Well, that's true.
Yes,
that's true.
Thank you. That's most important.
Yes.
So, yes, I apologize for my misunderstanding.
You're okay.
Yeah, that individual is a representation of the good version of the male gaze, as opposed to the opposite male gaze. This film represents.
He's one of the good ones. He's one of what? Yes. Why are they all? Why they always got to be gay, right? Am I right, boys? I mean, they always the good ones. So
all I know, Rick, is that when that moment that you described happened in the theater, I turned to Maxie because we actually saw the movie together the first time. Because it's like we knew that it was just gonna be such a great bonding experience for us. So I turned to him and I said, "It doesn't get any better than this." And then it was crazy. It did. It kept getting better.
Oh my God!
It did. Oh,
I'm
sweating now. I'm sweating now.
The complete third act. I was just on. I was on. I had to stand up and almost walk out of the theater because of the third act, because of how amazing it was. I couldn't handle it anymore. But we will go to our favorite writer and toy collector right down below me, who is the power bottom of the evening. Am I right?
Woo, that's right.
Let's get your favorite moment of Madam Web.
Well, I love references. So, I think that the strength of a movie or a TV show or a commercial, anything that I consume, is when it reminds me of something else that I'm familiar with. Yes. When I recognize things, I get really excited and I almost clap in the theater. Even though clapping is very triggering, so I don't do it. Guys. Absolutely. But I almost do because I just get so excited. So my favorite part was where after Madam Web gets blinded by taking a firework to the face, and she's in the hospital, the same hospital that Ben has taken his sister Mary to give birth to her and Richard's child. When the girls come in and they say that the baby's been born, and that Ben is so excited, and one of them jokes that it's because he'll have all of the fun and none of the responsibility. When Madam Web knowingly says, he's in for a surprise, and I realize that that's a reference to him eventually being the uncle of Spider-Man. And then I also realized that it means that she knows that Richard and Mary are going to die horrible deaths and that she's not going to do a goddamn thing to stop it. That's where I was like, oh, this is great. This is so great. She's really a hero. She's really a hero for the ages. You know, and really, therefore, everything that Spider-Man will accomplish once Peter becomes Spider-Man, it really all goes back to Madam Web, and it's really all the credit belongs to her. So I'll give it up for Madam Web. Give it up for Madam Web.
Thank you. And you know what? We do have to recognize that when we see those things, when we see those little Easter eggs, when they say, "Oh, Ben is going to be a pretty good uncle," that makes us as nerds ecstatic. Like I almost had to change my pants whenever they whenever they do something like that, right? I get so excited.
Max, I soaked right through my Bro Flow tampon.
Right? Oh my gosh. Yes.
I wish I had a like that, man.
Thankfully, they're our sponsor, which means that we can get more of those, and they can get us more. Drewselberry can go find some at his local CVS. And I really think that these writers and these producers and directors really took the time and effort to focus on those little small things, like you were saying, Aaron, that without Madam Web, there is no Peter Parker, right? There is no Spider-Man without her.
No, there's not. Guys, I'm gonna jump out for a second. My girlfriend's boyfriend is upstairs and he's hungry, so I just got to take something up to him. I'll be right back.
Cool.
Okay,
cool.
Absolutely. Go do your thing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fair.
We want to make sure that we are being inclusive, and we welcome Aaron being there for his girlfriend's boyfriend. I think that's extremely important. Let's give it up for Aaron for being so inclusive for his relationship.
Break down barriers.
Absolutely. How open and engaging that must be, and freeing, right? Just freeing to be able to do that.
Poly is the future. Poly is very much the future. We have to remember that. Can't be selfish and have those single relationships.
Right. Absolutely. Now, the last or the thing I wanted to say, I think my favorite part of the whole thing, there is a scene on a train, on a subway train, for all my web heads out there, for all my Madam Web heads. If you guys saw the film, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But Madam Web, as she is getting on this train, she's just had this traumatic experience happen to her where she's lost her best friend through an ambulance accident where a truck rammed at him at 25 miles an hour. And when he passes away and she recognizes her power can change can alter the future, she goes on the subway and begins to see visions of the future and how the director portrayed these visions, how the cinematographer and the director of photography really confused the audience. It gave me a headache because I was having so much fun with their creative liberties and how they engaged with the audience. It was flashback after flashback after flashback on the subway, and it really holds your hand because not only did we see the same scene once, we see it almost 3 times for each one of the girls that gets on the train. And so the first time, go ahead.
It was pretty much 4 because she has a moment before she starts seeing the girls. Then we get each of the girls. But carry on. Because I love this scene. I love this scene.
This was such a well executed scene because ultimately we keep seeing these flashbacks. And the first time, like you said, Josh, I think there are 4 of them all together. And that first time, I was like, I don't get it. What's going on? I don't understand.
I didn't either.
I was so lost. And me as a nerd, I'm like, okay, I can follow a lot of comic books, all right, but like I'm not getting this. So then they showed it a second time, and now I'm starting to put the pieces together. And now my headache is really starting to ramp up because of the cinematography and how they're filming these flashbacks.
The tension.
Yes, thank you. So by this 4th time, I was on board. I finally understood she can see into the future. And so that was really what hit me. And the emotional weight of how she tells the girls to get off the train when she says, girls, we need to get off the train. Girls, you need to follow me to safety. Her performance was just, there was just something about it. It really resonated.
And the believability for them to just blindly follow her. Just blindly, without even knowing who she is.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well, it shows the strength of the power of women when they get together. The female bond of whether it's bonding over
It's
trauma
that
or past
estrogenal
experience.
sense. They detected estrogenal sense in the air. They just pick that
Yeah.
They're
detect
together.
it, pick it up. They're like, hey,
Yeah.
yo, she's
Yeah.
one of us. We gotta follow her.
Amen.
Right after that, Max, there's another scene that I think is really great. Is a bunch of the character of Ezekiel. He's a toxic man and we hate him. But
Yeah.
it just there is a great moment in the movie where you see that even somebody that's that toxic and that's that evil and that much of a man can do something good when he murders several police officers in the subway station.
Oh my
he
gosh.
basically a very nice defund the police message there. And then through a lot of the rest of the movie, there's no police to be found anywhere in the city. I mean, she's driving a stolen car and she's not getting pulled over. She steals an ambulance and there's no police that are pursuing. So I thought it was like a really nice message of just kind of the more perfect world we could have if we didn't have police officers.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Imagine that. Thank you. Yes, it would be so. And that's why, on our background and Drew's, avatar here, I think it's important that we recognize the type of brutality, and so many times in comic book fandoms, you see the problematic Punisher logo. I think we all have seen this before. And we see it on cops and we see it on military. And it is just so, let me just say, if you wear the Punisher logo, you're a white supremacist. It's as easy as that. I mean, it might as well be that.
Yep.
And even the creator has come out and said, I object and I push back against the own thing that I created. And everyone else who doesn't understand are just basement dwelling chuds. And so that's why I think it's really important that we, as the true fans on the right side of history, we actually understand the Punisher, not all these other toxic man babies. So,
well, I think what he's doing, I think what the creator of the Punisher, Jerry Conway, is doing is he's trying to paper over his own history and his own complicity in creating a symbol of white supremacy. Even though he might not have had that intention, that's what resulted from it. And as we all know, intention is never as important as impact. So I think that we need to cancel Jerry Conway. We need to make sure that he never works again. If he's showing up to a convention, we need to get loud and we need to get up in his face. And we need to tell the convention to cancel him. And if he is there, we need to get, whatever the local chapter of Antifa is, we need to get them to go down there and to beat this old white man, just beat him down for creating a symbol of supremacy.
Yes. Well, that is the most compassionate thing to do, Aaron. You're right.
In Fortnite.
Oh, yes. In Minecraft or Fortnite. Yes. Absolutely.
Yes.
But no, that is the most compassionate thing to do. And
I would never recommend that anybody commit violence against anybody else. I would only suggest it strongly.
Of course. And thank you, Aaron. We greatly appreciate your commitment to that and to the high suggestion of violence. And sometimes it needs to be done to really get the message across. And that is the most compassionate, understanding thing that we can possibly do. Whether it's through night letters,
it doesn't matter. And it does
forums.
Sorry to interrupt, but it's always too late to apologize. There's no you cannot apologize with those of white supremacy. You can't. Doesn't matter.
No, as a matter of fact, I would go so far as to say I would rather see society burn to the ground than ever have to be exposed to an idea that I disagree with.
Yes. Well, these ideas that we all disagree with, they are so unhealthy. They are dangerous. They could cause actual violence. And so I strongly agree, Aaron. I think that's extremely well said. Thank you for articulating that. Now we've been talking about comic books because we are a bunch of nerds on here. Let's be real. We are, guilty. And we love comic books. We just love comics and comic book movies. And, we just want to talk about those great things. And so what better way to talk about comics and comic book movies than to actually show a clip from all the producers of Disney and Sony talking about how they implemented these comic books into these comic book movies, and just to show like how we as fans can see like just how amazing they're doing with these properties, that they're taking like the best and brightest and having them read the things that we love and putting them into these movies. So I'm going to share this clip. This was sent to me by an anonymous source, and I'm just so excited to get into this because the individual who sent this to me was extremely passionate and said this will be a great time for us to share this on the show. So let's go ahead and watch this.
I was not very steeped in the comics.
I didn't read any comics or do any research.
I wasn't familiar with comics. I wasn't familiar with the movies.
We didn't lean into a whole lot of the history of the comic books.
Yeah, candidly, we were not enormous comic fans.
I wasn't super into superhero comics when I was a kid. I read a lot of like indie.
Wait, just let it play. They're getting there.
Okay.
As a
I think they're getting there.
In a bubble, they don't let you talk about any of the other projects, right?
You know, they're up for anything.
We ultimately decided to redefine it for the series and thought that it worked better for the story that we're trying to tell.
Did you ever read you haven't read the cover?
When the DVD comes out, I'm going to read a Thor comic book and just see where we went wrong.
Wait a sec. I don't think that.
Did they cut the clip short? Because it seemed like they were saying like they weren't familiar with this stuff, but they picked it up. Yeah, it seemed like we missed the part where they picked up the books and developed a lot. Like it seemed like that's where it was going. I think you got a short. I think you got a short version of the clip.
This is the before they started doing the world.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, because look, we are all, and I don't want to, associate myself with this group, but we are all comic aficionados. Like we actually know comics.
Like we actually read them. Yeah,
we may not buy them, but we actually read them. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Well, buying them is capitalism, and
we know. We know for a fact that She-Hulk is the most comic book accurate comic book product that has ever come out for television or film. So,
one of the greatest comic writers of all time, Dan Slott, said that it was the most accurate She-Hulk ever. And I think that if you can't take his word on it, I don't understand what we just watched. I think they might be doing a bit.
That might be what it is. Yeah,
probably to own the chuds.
Yeah,
probably like doing a bit.
They did it. Right. They did it so well with She-Hulk in particular. So
oh my gosh, even the Echo.
I love those guys. They keep me on my toes. Like, I mean, I was a little nervous for a second.
Maybe that's
Josh. I don't think that you should be mentioning toes because we might have people in the chat who don't don't have toes. So I think that we probably shouldn't have you exposing like your toe privilege. I don't want to upset anybody in the chat. I want to be inclusive.
I see. We have someone named Mike has bad knees. If he's got bad knees, he's probably got bad toes. So
that's probably true because they're further down.
Yeah.
Right. And
so do any of us right here on the panel have any toes missing to give us privilege to talk about this right now?
I have a toe that doesn't bend. I have a toe that doesn't bend because when I was a kid, I severed a tendon.
That counts.
Yeah. And you know what? Even though, Aaron, that is oddly specific, I think it is still extremely important that we recognize toe privilege. And even in the Echo trailer, when they were talking about hearing privilege, that is something we all have right now because we were all able to listen to each other and these ideas. And some people may not have that advantage or that privilege. And so, yes, if there's anyone who would like to, give us something that we can be aware of, let me know, especially whether it's bad knees or whatnot. So, yes, thank you. We will be sensitive, and thank you, Mike. We stand with you as well.
Maxi
you know what we should do is we should next show we should get like bands that we have on our arms for Mike's bad knees, just to raise bad knee awareness.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. It afflicts many people. So many people.
It does.
You should push it to the forefront. More of these. Actually, you know what? That's something. Let's let Marvel and Sony know that we need more bad knee representation in these films.
Yes.
I think that's something that we have not seen a lot of so far.
At all.
They're getting there. I know they're getting there because every project like Echo, was the greatest thing that I'd seen from Marvel since the previous thing and until the next thing.
Yes.
So, you know, when the Marvels came out, I was like, this is even better. And now Madam Web from Sony, you know, even better. Like it's just been on a steady, you know, once we got rid of like the male dominated Marvel movies and we really got into you know, what the chuds call the MCU, but I'm taking it back. I'm calling it the MCU because we're celebrating it. You know, I think that it's just gotten better and better and better. And you know, the next thing will be even better. And the thing after that will be even better than that. So it's just it's a golden age.
Absolutely.
I want to just hit pause real quick. And I promise I'm not trying to derail too much, but you know, since we're discussing Echo, that show for me meant so much that after I saw it, I'm getting chill bumps. I don't know if you guys can see.
I see. Oh my God, I see him. Oh yeah.
That show meant so much to me, and I felt like I was serving as such a disservice to the deaf community that I started taking sign language. So I learned sign language for a show.
Wow.
You know, Josh, that's so great. I think that you know, one of the things that I'm going to do after I saw Echo is I hired a guy next week. He's going to stab knitting needles into my ears and puncture my eardrums so that I can, you know, I will no longer have that hearing privilege.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm so
That's cool, Aaron.
That is something I would love to do as well. I've
with Rick learning sign language. You know, Ricky Rich learned in sign language. He'll be able to actually like translate the you know, when we're doing this show, he'll be able to sign for me. So
I haven't even thought of that. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm not deaf yet, but I will be. So you know, it's all a process.
You know, I would really, after seeing Madam Web, it truly inspired me. I'm thinking about going to a fireworks stand myself and seeing if maybe one can maybe get, you know, maybe I can get some sort of, because I hate being able to see. It really is such a nuisance that I have to look at all this toxicity everywhere. So if I had the, you know, the privilege of being disabled in that way, maybe that might be the best way to go about this. But before we get into more talks of Echo and Madam Web, I do want to bring up Lane Kramer for $5. Lane, thank you so much. He says you might have to put out the posse for this guy doing some Bound in Blood comics. You might need to promote some Robin by Megan Fitzmartin in comics. You know, Megan Fitzmartin is the voice of the generation.
Down by the docks, baby.
Oh, down by the docks. What she is doing with Tippy Toe Robin. Well, I like to call him Tippy Toe Robin because he's just... I
call him Twinkle Toes Robin, man. I love it.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's amazing.
You're on the
but
same
it makes
page,
sense. You're not going to hear him. If he's walking like that, you're not going to hear him coming up on you. I mean, come on. Oh, it's brilliant.
You know, the great thing is she lives on a boat down by the docks, so she gets to see Tim Sheridan all the time.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Tim, can we talk about Tim Sheridan's Green Lantern run right now? What they are doing. I mean, the last book, this was one of the dialogue pieces. He plucked when one of the villains was talking about being plucked for service by the Russian military. He said, sometimes they pluck, or I've been plucked, so I let him pluck me. And it's just like, it's such a great commentary on, you know, those types of relationships and the LGBTQ community. And Tim Sheridan is speaking for people that maybe, yes, thank you, Josh. Thank you for you know, yeah, thank you. Amen. So yes, Lane, we really do love the Megan Fitzmartin stuff. And we really think that it should be seen by more people. We hope that more individuals can read these comic books because they're so freaking good. They're so good, man. But
Riley Rossmo. We need Riley Rossmo on the Justice League, on Batman, on Superman.
Everything.
We need Riley Rossmo on every book possible.
Everything. Put them on all of it.
And to the LGBTQIA that's out there, all of you, thank you so much for how brave you are. Thank you for wearing your life on your sleeve. Thank you for being honest. We need more people like you guys. I'm getting go ahead. Thanks, Pat.
Let's give it up for Josh. Thank you, Josh. We need to say that every now and then. Sometimes we do.
You know, Josh. This is Josh you keep talking about.
Josh, you are amazing.
Rizzy Rick, Richie Rick, Rizzy Richer. And we just love that you are, you know, just so open about. Yeah, we just love that you were so open about it. I unfortunately, I hate to say it, I am attracted to women. I know they are the superior of the genders. But I like Tom King. Really enjoy the type of powerful, strong Dami mommy, and that is what I really love to see in comic books being represented. And that's something for me that just is bar none one of the best things that I've seen in the past years of comic books. But I do want to give a huge shout out to our member, Mike Has Bad Knees, member for 5 months. That is 5 whole months. He says, please take a knee for my knees. You know what, Mike? During the Black National Anthem, during the American National Anthem, we will take a knee. And during the Black National Anthem, we will stand for you and be with you in your struggle with your bad knees. And thank you for your membership, because it truly goes a long way and it makes a ton of difference here. And so we really appreciate it. Now, I don't want to get, we kind of got diverted a little bit from that clip. It was a little negative, right? Some of these producers talking about, comics and whatnot. It was a little negative. So we want to be positive. We want to get back to something positive. And so I want to talk about a positive voice in the YouTube community. He has been doing some stuff that, seriously, guys,
I think I know who it is.
I can't express how much he has been doing for us as movie reviewers, for comic book reviewers. And it's just, I got to show it. Chris Stuckman.
I knew it. I knew it.
I know, right? I couldn't hold the secret any longer. But guys, already, as you can see, he is about to review Madam Web, and I love Chris's reviews. He's always super objective. He always stays positive. It's like, I don't know how he does it, man. He manages to always stay positive and never criticize anything. And the great part about it is that he is a filmmaker himself.
Absolutely. And that's I was just gonna say that. He's positive, he's articulate, and he's a filmmaker. So he's got a perspective that we don't have. Like,
absolutely,
we have to cherish what this man brings to the table. Like,
he is a bastion of integrity.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You can tell, you can hear the conviction in his voice. He's so charismatic. I mean, he just leaps off of the screen, and you can really tell within his reviews just how honest and how much integrity he has in his film reviews. So I have not seen this yet. Full disclosure, I have wanted to wait for this stream to watch this.
Before we start, I do want to say I've always referred to him as the Slay Queen, Queeng.
Perfect.
He's not
the
not King, not Queen.
Perfect.
Slay Queen. Slay Queen.
Slay Queen. Is it?
I'm so excited. I had to open the pink bag, by the way. So carry on.
Oh, okay.
Clusters.
No. All right. So here we
this
go.
One's flavor is rainbow, by the way. Okay, carry on.
All flavors should be rainbow.
You're right.
Am I right?
Nerds are sticking up for the right, causes. I love it. I love to see that. I love that. So here we go. This is Chris Stuckman's Madam Web review.
Myself, probably not going to do a video for this one based off of what I've heard, since I do try to keep it mostly about film celebration on this channel. Having seen the film, I'm going to tell you that this is not a movie review of Madam Web. I am not about bashing filmmakers, artists. I know how hard it is to make a movie. I do not know how hard it is to make a movie under the studio system. I was able to make an indie film without a giant corporation breathing down my neck, which
Make
is
it about
not
you. That's
the
good.
privilege
That's good.
that S.J. Clarkson had when she directed Madam Web under Sony, which I can only imagine was monumentally difficult. This is not going to be a video about Madam Web and telling you whether or not you should see Madam Web.
Wow, that is powerful. That is powerful, guys.
I was about to ask if you could pause it, because my mind is blown right now.
I know you gotta collect your thoughts.
Oh my god, I'm already like, man, I can't imagine how hard S.J. Clarkson's job is, because she's a woman behind the camera, and they like to act like it's a man's game. Like we know that, we see it, we hear it all the time. So not only does she have that circle, but dude, she's under the thumb of a studio, and she still somehow manages to make a masterpiece. Like,
Yes.
I don't.
Somehow,
It's unbelievable.
Under the thumb of the patriarchal capitalist pigs that want to push her down, and yet she is so, thank you, chat, so brave, so strong, so stunning. She comes out
Very cool.
She makes
very cool.
It is. You're right, Joe. It is very, very cool. Very cool.
Right.
She comes out and she directs a brilliant film that we can all love and enjoy, because as nerds, we should love and enjoy everything that comes out regardless of quality, because these people, guys, they work hard on these films. And I think that's the one thing that we really need to drive home here, is that everyone that works on these films works on them extremely hard, and it's a passion project for them, which means that we should never, ever, ever criticize anything because of how much work they put into it. And I think that is something that Chris has done here exponentially well.
Well, I think that Chris Cuckman, his reviews are always great. I think the fact that he puts up a poster of Madam Web and then makes a whole video about Madam Web where he refuses to discuss Madam Web just shows the integrity that he has. I mean, he's not dead behind the eyes at all. You can tell how much passion he has for these films, and you can tell that he's not just trying to suck up to the studio system and trying to be positive because he's hoping that he might get work. You can tell he's got too much integrity for that. What he's about the positivity of filmmaking. He made his own little indie film, and so therefore he has a kinship with the people that make these corporate products. So he's just really trying to honor that, and I think that I just want to give it up for Chris Cuckman. Give it up for him.
Yeah, let's give it up for Chris. Now, Aaron,
he's representing.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
He's representing non-testicular fortitudinous. That's what I call it, non-testicular fortitudinous.
You can feel the estrogen like just coming through the screen.
Yes. Oh, it's so good. And Superior Sparrow, we do you prefer Superior Sparrow, Soy Sparrow? I mean, is there one that
either one? Soy is my first name and my passion. So I never mind being called that.
I want to be respectful of that. So yes, Soy Sparrow, Soy Superior Sparrow. I think that you brought up a great point, and thank you for discussing this. But I just want one little thing. I don't want to be negative. But I think you may have said Cuckman, and I want to affirm those who may be cucks in the audience. We do not want to kink shame here. However, I believe it is Stuckman. But I want to just confirm and say that I affirm all cucks. I myself appreciate being a cuck, and so there's nothing wrong with that. But I just want to make sure that we are getting his name.
No. I mean, as my girlfriend, I just took, as you guys saw, like I'm nothing against cucks. I just took
absolutely
one of my girlfriend's boyfriends. I just went up and I took him some food, out of my refrigerator that I paid for. He lives here rent free. I am definitely, I definitely would never use that as a negative. I just made a mistake with his name.
And Sparrow, let's be honest, was that Donnie? Was that our friend Donnie?
Yeah, no, that was Donnie. And then when the stream ends,
Jehovah's Witness is known as a worldly person.
What's going on?
And they act as if they're very
sorry.
Are you playing the clip? Are you playing?
We were talking about Stuckman. And I just got sidetracked and I was on his channel, but I thought I'd pause it. That was my bad.
Oh well, I mean, I can understand.
I understand why you were on his channel.
I segued for a second because I was like, oh man, I didn't know if he's released anything other. Like we're watching this and I haven't watched this clip yet, and I was like, I don't know how much I've missed because I've been living in the theater to see this film, man. And I was like, okay, it's going through and adding to my watch later list, and I sorry about that. Sorry. Apologize. I apologize.
Well, I don't accept the apology, but I understand.
Yeah, like I said, we love Stuckman here, so we want to make sure, I find myself on his channel regularly, whether he's, not criticizing films or whether he's always talking about, positively about the next film. I love the fact that he just keeps it positive and only talks about the stuff that he loves. It really makes him super objective because no matter what, he can always find the good in a film and never ever the bad. And I think that keeps him, grounded and super objective as a professional film critic.
You can really trust his opinions.
Yes.
Because you know that he is being straight with you. I don't mean to say straight. I don't mean to say straight.
He's not a sellout. We know what you mean.
You know what I really love about his energy is it reminds me a lot of my girlfriend's second boyfriend's energy. So you guys know Sage. You know, I've actually got to drive him to work when we finish the stream here. But yeah, so you know, he really has like that same kind of you know, just no testosterone whatsoever kind of energy that that I feel comfortable with.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And yes, we all love Sage here. We you know, we respect you, we respect Sage, we respect y'all's poly you know, relationship, and we just want you guys to be happy. Most of all, we just want you to, you know, to bring joy to your lives, and so we support that. The other thing, I'm sorry.
Well,
I mean, yeah, we want to keep it positive here, but you know,
keep it positive, guys.
we want to keep it positive. So the next positive thing that we want to talk about, the last you know, few minutes here that we have with you guys, we want to talk about the X-Men news, guys. I don't know about you. Go. I don't know about you guys. Yeah. Oh my God. So
wait, but the best part's when it gets to the end.
Yeah. Riz can't you take it, dude. I can't do it. You're way better.
No. We're good. We did it. Oh,
so he's got the he's got the thing. He's got
school.
Oh my God. I know. I get that reference, Soy. I get that reference, Sparrow. Oh, that's so good. So speaking of X-Men, I know we have all been watching the X-Men animated series from when we were, you know, little kids or teenagers, because I mean, we are getting a little bit older. And so now that we have seen the X-Men animated series, they're bringing it back. And, you know, let's just give it up for Disney for recognizing something that we have always asked for and wanted, is this X-Men series. And guys, I have
modern audience. For a modern audience, guys.
For a modern audience.
How cool
Guys,
is that? Very cool.
Got some good news. It is very
cool. Very cool.
The good news is that this is straight from the X-Men Updates Twitter account, is that they have added a one of the characters that they are bringing back, Morph, is actually non-binary, and it makes so much sense. I mean,
it does, man.
Like they look amazing.
Hashtag about time.
Am I right? I am so it's beyond me. I love what they're doing with this new character. I did want to highlight though that there has been some, you know, talks about this. You know, there's been some controversy, but in all of it, I think it's extremely important that we recognize the positivity, and that is that 43,000 people liked this tweet from the X-Men Updates Twitter account. It says, "The X-Men have and will always be symbols for inclusion and diversity. If you are a bigot and have a problem with that, you're not an X-Men fan, and you don't understand the slightest thing about them." Guys,
not one bit.
Give it up for this tweet. This is what X-Men are all about.
We know because we're comic fans. We were there. I mean,
comic fans.
We weren't born, but we were there to pick up X-Men #1. Like the moment we could, we were going through those back issue bins. We were getting them. We were doing those mail-in services. Like if you remember the '90s, it was hard to find back issue bins. You had to go use those mail-in services, right? Like look at him. Drizzleberry Pop-Tart. He knows.
I got the Pogs back in the day. The Pogs back in the day, and the Pog pack came with the X-Men comics, the classics. That's how I got my X-Men comics, by playing Pogs and reading X-Men.
Absolutely,
man.
But we know X-Men has always been about diversity. It's always been ahead of its time. It's always been woke before woke was a word to be used. It's what it stands for. That's what we're here for. It's what we're here for.
You know, Ricky, it's so great to I just want to affirm what you're saying. It's so great to hear you say that. You know, because back in the 90s, you know, when the X-Men cartoon was originally out and the character of Morph was based on Changeling from the comics, who's not an attractive character. You know, we saw how ugly that character was, and we knew, you know, even though they didn't mention it on the show because you couldn't back then, we saw how ugly the character was, so we knew that they would identify as non-binary. So I think it's great that we're now getting to the point where you know, we can, even though the show's still set in the 90s, we can take modern day cosplay sexuality and apply that to the characters and really like make a statement and alienate a huge portion of the fan base. I think that that's always, you know, we want to get rid of those toxic fans anyway. You know, it doesn't matter if these things make any money. That's capitalism and that's bad, and we need to move away from it. What we need to do is we need to always be about the message, and these corporations, you know, they have so much money, they can just go forever losing money on things.
Absolutely.
You know, and they should, so that, you know, we can get, you know, this messaging into every single project that comes out from anyone ever.
And hopefully through this show, we will get the name updated so that it's X Sapiens.
Yes. Oh, I thought you were going to say mutants. Because, you know,
we got to keep the X. We got to keep the X.
X is iconic. X is iconic. X is iconic.
It is.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember the X. I've seen the X before. Yep. Okay. So I like
that X.
When I saw it in the trailer for the new cartoon, and when I saw that the X, I clapped. I clapped when I saw it.
Oh no,
but I didn't bring my hands together because I didn't want to. I mean, I was alone in my house. But you know, I never know if you know, if my girlfriend's bringing in a new boyfriend, so I don't know what their triggers are. So I just try to be quiet. I try not to talk. I try not to give my opinions. I try not to like show any kind of
respectful
or backbone whatsoever.
Yeah.
To quote our favorite Spider-Man Tom Holland and those films, when I saw the X in this trailer, I got the Peter tingle. I got a Peter tingle.
Oh, you got that Peter tingle. We love Tom Holland, and I agree. I got those tingles as well. But yeah, no, you guys are right. This is what X-Men is about. This is what X-Men has always been about. It has always been about the civil rights movement. It's always been about racial justice and LGBTQIA plus justice and the rights for those people and those individuals. And that is what X-Men is. It's never been about characters coming together, forming a bond, going on incredible adventures. And it's always been about the social messaging. Always.
Yep. Every single issue is stuffed with social
every
messaging.
Single one. Oh, 100%.
Look, yeah. I'm gonna start this now. I'm not gonna say X-Men anymore. I'm gonna say X Sapiens.
Thank you. Okay.
But the X Sapiens,
inclusive.
Yeah. The X Sapiens are the original social justice warriors.
Oh
yes.
My gosh.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Give it up. Give it up.
Thank you. Give it up for Rizzy. You are on fire tonight, Riz.
Dude,
Lord.
I'm bringing the Riz. I think it's because I'm on your channel. Like,
you know what? That's what it is. Hey,
I try to bring the Riz, but it's just coming tonight, man.
Yeah, we're all coming with Riz, dude. It's
bro, it's face, neck, and chest.
High tides raise all ships, man. High tides raise all ships.
I would say you are so on fire with Riz right now. And I don't mean to offend anybody in the chat who may have at one time experienced fire, but you are so on fire right now with the Riz that I think that in a 1v1 with the current Riz King, Baby Gronk, you could defeat him and become the new Riz King.
Wow.
I'd do it. I'd give the man a challenge.
I believe it. Now, I do want to read the last comment that the X update said, because, of course, this, you know, all these chuds, all these man babies, imagine, look at this. They're commenting on this post. Like, I'm pretty sure, you know, you got your classic chuds posting in here, but they got absolutely ratioed because they then posted this. They said, while we usually don't comment on people's opinions, the amount of ignorant bigotry and hate comments, of course, from these, you know, toxic channels that have spewed from Morph being non-binary in the series, we will be blocking those who cannot be respectful. Amen to that. No one is forcing you to follow us or to watch the show. If you don't like it, don't watch it. That's what I always say.
Yep.
If you put like a Stan soapbox around that tweet, I would have believed it came from Stan Lee himself.
Oh, I would too. Stan was all about lecturing the customers. All about it.
And you know what, Josh? That's a great segue because I was also sent another clip from Stan Lee's mouth himself that talks about this exact issue. And so I'm glad that you mentioned that. And because we know who's the best man to ask about the X-Men and their social commentary, but the creator himself, like our god, Stan Lee. Yeah. We love Stan the man.
Well, my god is female, Max. My god is a woman.
Oh, okay. I apologize, and I recognize.
But you know what? We never found out how Stan identified. So we never asked him his pronouns because we were steeped in ignorance back while he was alive. So I like to think that inside Stan knew he was a woman.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Well,
like Kurt Cobain.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! Oh, he is so cute.
All great.
Such a cute trans girl. Every time I saw her, I was just like, Kurt.
She's great.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Quinn.
Thank you.
I know you're queuing up this clip, but because we're talking about this, I just had a bright idea. Sorry.
Okay.
I've been eating the pink, and I've been eating the blue. I need to go all in and go. I'm gonna have one of each.
Oh,
combine them.
Put both.
There's nothing better than two different things in your mouth.
Yes, put both the pink and the blue in your mouth.
Both hands.
How does it taste?
It's like a wet dream.
I mean, my favorite.
And that's a good thing for all genders.
You know what I'll bet it tastes like?
Orgasmic.
I'll bet it tastes like acceptance.
Tastes
that's a way to describe it.
Yes.
It tastes like acceptance, baby.
Amen. Well, thank you.
Better world.
After I tell you guys what, after this stream, I'm going out and getting 2 packs of those nerds. I'm putting them straight both into my mouth. Both of them. I can't wait. It's going to be so much.
I want to know how Donnie feels.
No, nothing better.
I mean, that's what I tell Sage and Donnie is there's nothing better than 2 nerds in your mouth.
Oh, both of those guys are so great.
Riz it for a biscuit. Thank you.
Hey, yeah, that's stunning and brave, man. We got a lot of stunning and brave moments on this stream tonight. So let me go ahead and share this. Now, this guy, you already know he's going to be spewing some hot facts, some straight fire, because he's got an X-Men shirt on. I don't know if you guys can see that, but like he's got an I know the X-Men. So
yeah,
he's a nerd like us. Like he's super. He knows.
No, I saw that, and I was like, I know that reference, and it made me like him. It's like when I'm watching The Big Bang Theory, and they mention a thing that I know, and I'm like, I like that thing that they mentioned. That must mean that I like this.
Dude, I love The Big Bang Theory. Yes, they're always showing things that I'm like, I know that. I like me as a nerd. Like I get it. Like
they take out the jokes and they put in references to things that you know, and I think that's really just so
Bazinga.
great. Yeah, Bazinga. I know Bazinga.
You got it, Bazinga.
I have a shirt that says that.
Yes,
I need that shirt.
It's the thing that he says in the show, and then you have the shirt of it. So like people,
so when people see it, they know that it's a thing from the show. They know I've seen the show, and if they like the show, then they like me because I like the show.
Like you, and you then make friends, and that's how you have friends. Oh, it's so great. Well, let's go ahead and play this clip because this individual is going to show us exactly what Stan said about the X-Men. Because as we all know, the X-Men were specifically created to be a civil rights allegory, and that is all that they have ever been. And I stand with Stan's decision. So let's get a final word to dunk on those chuds. Here we go. Belief. The X-Men were not actually created to explicitly address the civil rights movement. In this interview with Stan Lee, he specifically states that his intention was only to create fun new characters for the Marvel Universe and not as a type of allegory for racial prejudice.
Hang on, is this where did you get the idea for the X-Men, and did you originally create them to destroy racial prejudice?
I didn't create them to destroy racial prejudice, but once I had them going, it occurred to me, man, this strip makes a great vehicle to talk about racial prejudice and how terrible it is. But in the beginning, all I wanted to get a new team of heroes.
Contrary to so that maybe that's the wrong clip, but
I don't think that was really Stan. I think that was from really far away, and it was dark. And I think that
I couldn't see him either. He sounded a little off too. Like it's like the cadence of how he spoke didn't sound like Stan.
It was like an AI voice, or they're doing
That was
crazy.
a nurse. That was a nurse talking. Yeah.
I mean, Stan's been dead for like how many 6 years now, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
That wasn't Stan. That wasn't Stan.
Yeah, like forever ago.
Whoever went to a public place and did that, you should be ashamed of yourself. Like trying to impersonate someone of that greatness and speaking such ill.
I mean, just to go and try and undo a narrative like that, I think is disgusting. You know, we need our narratives. They're important. They're important for reframing everything into into the way that we want it to be instead of the way that it actually was. So narratives are really important, and I don't think that anybody should be going out there and doing that. I think it's disgusting.
No, absolutely.
And look, I'm just gonna say this. I didn't notice it at first, but we should have had a heads up on that clip because there was an American flag in the background.
Oh, I guess.
Well, I mean, anyone who has an American flag, we automatically know who they voted for in 2016.
Right?
Yeah, we do. I mean, you have one. You have one behind you, Max, but I mean, you know, it's ironic.
His is actually a Marvel flag. There's like Marvel characters on the flag. So
okay, good.
Each star is a Marvel character.
Yeah.
And then what I've done is I put Superman in front of it because Superman is crushing the American patriarchy and everything that America stands for. Because Superman is a social justice warrior and actually wants to.
It's because you have the John Kent Superman
truth, justice, and communism. That's what he would always say. You know,
absolutely, and a better tomorrow.
Red Sun. Yes, Red Sun Superman.
Yeah, Red Sun.
Perfect
and you know, they just updated the term for modern audiences, and it says truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. And don't we all want a better tomorrow? Not an American way, because the American way is not a better tomorrow. Let's be real about that.
Yeah.
So we won't listen to that last clip. Let's focus on something better. Let's focus on the people who are actually making this happen, the individuals who are behind the scenes of the greatest show that Disney is about to make, besides all the other products that it has put out before. Now, this one is going to be the next best thing. So let's take a look at some of these amazing activists, because to me, and I don't know what you guys think, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but it's not just good enough anymore to be a writer or a storyteller or a producer. You need to use your platform for good. And that's exactly what Jake Castorena is doing. He is a producer on the X-Men show. And look at his pinned tweet. Like he is absolutely destroying the chuds with this. And I absolutely love it.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
In his capris. He is the best.
And he's like, isn't it cool that he's skating? Like, I love that. I love that he's like just skating down and he's saying, you know, fuck Trump and he's still your boy. Well, then fuck you too, because we don't need those types of people in our fandom. No. We don't need, you know, Trump supporter, racist, white, blah, blah, blah. You know, not to get too negative. We want to stay positive, but we want positive people in the fandom. And that's what this guy is doing. He's being positive and telling all the chuds, we don't want you. And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have this other woman who's another producer and writer. And she was calling out a lot of the racist and white supremacist attacks that were happening during a lot of the, I won't say his name, but it rhymes with Bittenbaus, and you guys know, we don't want to say his name because he's a terrible person.
I say White Devil. I say Kinsiocha.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you. And she spoke out about that. So these are just only two of some of the writers and producers on this show. And Josh, I know you have a special place in your heart for our next guy that we're about to talk about.
Absolutely.
Because this guy, I mean, talk about stunning and brave. This dude is doing more for the community, not just for X-Men fans, but for the LGBTQ community than anyone else. So Josh, Rizzy, I'll let you take the lead on this one because you are the Riz Lord yourself. Tell us why what Bo DeMeo is doing, why it makes it so important in the X-Men universe.
Here's the thing. So Bo is like just firing on all cylinders, like just blowing off on all fronts. Like if you were wondering how good that, like we all love the original X-Men animated series, but I know for a fact this is going to be better. I mean, look at this headline first of all.
Yes.
X-Men 97 executive producer Bo DeMaio reveals series story is informed by his experience as a black gay man.
Oh, I'm so glad
because
at first I thought it was going to
man.
be informed by the experience of a white gay man.
Oh, yeah,
and I could not even deal with that.
Thank you. Am I right? Yeah.
There's going to be so much nuance steeped into this, and I also
doing the power fist. Give it up for the twist.
Give it up.
Power
fist. There it is.
I also want to. It's hard to see in this picture. But he's actually he's also like silently speaking right here. He's wearing a hat from a brand called Nasty Pig. And it is a gay sex positive brand that encourages people to be themselves, not get tied down with all these ideals of this heteronormativity. Like just be, be gay, be sex positive. Like that's so much. These episodes, I know they're going to be so profound, and I'm so excited. I live in an era and a time where I can sit down with my kids whenever these episodes air, and that we can watch this. And I know for a fact that they're going to learn lessons, and they're going to see someone that they don't look like, but they're going to see them and go, man, I hope I can be like that someday. And you know what? When I was younger, I didn't have examples of that. I didn't see people of another race, of another sexuality up here standing up for this stuff. And I'm so excited I get to share this with my kids, man.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
Josh. We stand with you, Josh. We're right there with you. Thank you so much for speaking out on this.
With my bad knees, I stand with you.
Just throwing back to we stand with you, but no offense to Mike with bad knees, we don't want to be exclusionary.
Of course,
we know with you too. We know with you too.
But like just going back to the previous example that you used, as we're talking about, the sex positivity of that clothing brand, going back to talk about that previous person who mentioned that other person whose name we don't want to say, but it rhymes with written blouse. He killed 2 sex positive pedophiles. And they were very sex positive. They were very positive that they wanted to have sex with children, and he ended their lives before they could have sex with any more of them. So I just want to recognize that and say that I think that this team is going to just put together the best example of what the X-Men truly are for a modern audience.
Absolutely, being socially conscious and being aware of all different sexualities, because like you said, we want to be inclusive of even those who are maps, and especially this pig slut brand. Is that what it was, Rizzy? I think you were
Nasty Pig.
Yeah.
Swine whore, was that? What was it?
It was right around there. Yep. It's a beautiful name. I think it's a great name for a company. Pig. Especially, doing this children's show, this children's X-Men show, to bring kids into the fold, to have them see their heroes, supported by brands like Nasty Pig Slut Whore.
Yeah, kids are gonna see these clothes. They're gonna go, "Oh, that looks cool. Where'd you get that from?" And he's gonna say Nasty Pig. And they're so sex positive that their marketing campaigns, they essentially just get 2 guys together. They start off wearing the clothes. And they just let them, experience love with one another. And as they're undressing and doing things, they take pictures. That's their ad campaign. That's their marketing. It is love. Love is love, and it's beautiful.
That's why sucking pig dicks has always been one of my favorite brands.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think it's so positive. I think that you want to get more of these people that celebrate that sort of thing out, and you really want to get the kids out to the cons to meet these people, and maybe even you could set up panels where there's no adults allowed whatsoever. I think that would be really positive, because then the kids don't feel the pressure of their parents being there. They could just be alone with these Hollywood people, which I think is just such a positive thing.
Oh, absolutely. And, because everyone is so positive, everyone's so very positive. They're sex positive. They're affirming, a lot of positive vibes, a lot of positive, terminology. And to have those kids in that environment of such positivity will be great for their mental health, for their conditioning, for whatever it is that, for what they experience in those conventions. How much fun are they going to have? Thank you, Josh. Yes, for supporting that. Or Rizzy, excuse me. And we were, Rizzy, you were getting emotional earlier, and I want to speak on that, because even Beau DeMayo speaks on representation, how important representation is, because he says here, I think one of my favorite parts was when they were truly interested in like what my experience as a black gay man was and how it was going to inform the story we're telling. So finally, black gay children can see themselves in the X-Men story. And that to them was like, that is how we're going to make this authentic. And guys, I can't think of anything else more authentic than this black gay man sharing his experience in the X-Men films and in the X-Men show, and affirming this type of sexual behavior in the show. I think it's extremely important and progressive for him to represent that.
Hashtag about time. About time.
About time.
It's about time.
We could not have
hashtag we love pig dicks.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go. Let's go.
We could not have had a better person leading the show.
Oh, I mean, come on. Who else would take the lead on this show? Who else is a better?
I mean, it could be a woman. It could be a female. A female gay man of color.
Now, if Beau may, he may present as male, right? But I don't know what his pronouns are, so we don't necessarily know if he is.
He described himself as a gay black man.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's okay. You're right. You're right.
So I want to honor how he defined himself.
Of course.
So I don't want to presume. I'm just saying that if we had a black gay man that was a woman, it might be an even better show.
I will say to be fair, this is one interview from one day. He could be gender fluid. We don't know. Like I haven't.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Good point, Josh. Good point.
I do want to recognize this in the chat. We also have Lane Kramer for $2. Thank you again, Lane, for your support. Goes right back into the show. We love this. He says,
goes right back into more tickets for Madam Web.
Yeah, hey, you better believe we are spending that money well, so we can go see more Madam Web. We can go see more of these these products made by these corporations, so that we can give you guys our positive reviews on all of these things, because we want the access. I mean, we not the access. We want to give you guys the positive reviews and to create a great environment here. So Lane Kramer says, "Sorry, I am spy. Chud beards. Justice for Rogue Butt. Sorry, I am a spy. Chudbeard's justice for Rogue. Oh, I think he's saying that all the chuds out there are saying, hey, what happened to this thick, juicy, beautiful Rogue character? Male gaze, anyone? I mean,
you had decades of degrading women. Like, move past it. Let's be real men.
Yeah.
Get rid of the wrong male gaze. Keep the right male gaze.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah, we need people like Josh, Rizzy. Not you. We need someone like Josh who can actually tell a story from his perspective.
Yeah,
so.
That's right. I love Josh. Josh is a great dude.
No, of course. I love Josh.
I don't like his show.
Well.
I don't like his show. I don't like his co-host. I don't like that other guy that he sometimes has on.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that I find their commentary very triggering, very offensive. But but I mean, I
he's learning though. He's learning.
Well, that's the thing. We just have to love them in the right direction by trying to destroy their lives if they disagree with us at all.
Yes, yeah, and to destroy their lives, yes, absolutely, with anything we disagree with them on, and that is the most empathetic and positive thing that we can possibly do is try to get them canceled at all costs necessary. So
call that employer, let them know how toxic they are online.
Yes, well, we have to do our part, because they are spreading toxicity, and they're spreading like awful things in the world, and so we need them to be confined to what we say, and that's the most important, but with compassion. So I do want to recognize this comment from Jamin. He says, I am stupid on a straight line about these things, but if you all can humor me and let me know if a black gay writer is allowed to write white straight man stories in the X-Men, or is everyone gay in the X-Men? Oh my gosh, these are the hard-hitting questions that we love answering, Jamin. So thank you so much for your comment. Guys, do you have any can you speak a little bit about this?
I mean, look, let's be honest. Who's going to give a more authentic representation of a white straight man than a black gay man? I mean,
that is true.
White straight men.
True.
we think we know how we are, but we don't see how the world perceives us. We don't see, what our reality is. We've got a tunnel vision of what we think we're doing. But someone like Bo DeMeo, a black gay man, he sees how white straight men actually are. He sees how we operate. Like we are so privileged. We are so privileged that we don't know how we act.
Yeah.
Like we don't know what the real world is like. They do.
We're blind to our own. Yeah.
That's why it's so funny when you go down to like a comedy place like the Chuckle Hut, and the comedians up there in front of the in front of the brick wall, and he's like, black guys be like this and white guys be like this, and you're just like dying because you're like, oh my god, it's right. He's so right. We're so lame. We're so lame. Oh my god. Oh,
we are lame. We're the worst.
It's amazing.
We're the absolute
I
worst.
think it's great. The only people that are not qualified to write white male characters are white straight men. Especially if white straight men created those characters. They already created those characters so that they could hand them off to somebody who authentically understands the experience that those characters would have had.
Yes,
regardless
thank you,
of talent.
Aaron.
Regardless of talent.
Regardless of talent,
regardless of history, regardless of the work that they've put out there previously, those things are all tools of white supremacy. Merit is a tool of white supremacy. So we need to just hand these things off to people who have no idea what they are, who've never read them or appreciated them. Those are the people that we need in charge of these stories so that we can get the most authentic stories possible.
Guys, having standards in the comic book industry right now for these writers is so bigoted and patriarchal. I can't, it gets me upset, and I don't want to, I want to stay positive, but we need to get rid of a lot of those standards that have been passed down from legacies and legacies of all these white male creators that have said, no, you have to be this good to write a certain comic book. No, but what about all the other people that are underrepresented voices? They need to be getting into these stories as well. And so, we need to get rid of that. But I'm grateful that you said that.
A lot of us grew up very privileged. We learned to read by reading comic books. What we need to do is we need to bring in more people who will learn to read by writing comic books.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Like this hero right here.
She's right there. Or they are right there. They are right there. And there's a reason why all of them. Yeah. Why we updated, if you guys didn't know, chat, we updated our background. We were trying to put as many of our favorite things on here as possible. You guys may have seen it at the beginning of the show, but this is kind of that's what our background looks like. Here, I'll show it off one more. Is that just not the best thing you have ever seen? It's seriously one of my favorite backgrounds.
The very best of Marvel, the very best of DC, the very best
everything.
If I can just take two wags of a dog's tail real quick. Zaxx is in the chat and he says, hey, Rizzy, can you get a message to Josh? Zaxx, I absolutely can. I'm mentoring Josh. At this point, he is like a son to me, a redheaded stepson, but we're building that bond. So if you want me to get a message to him, I absolutely can.
Yes,
so
thank you, Zaxx.
Put it in the chat and I'll get it to him. Thank you.
Absolutely. We want to be respectful of you, Zaxx, and we will make sure to get that message to Josh from Rizzy. Now, that is all the time we have for tonight. We're keeping it under 2 hours. Even with all the positivity that we have for Madam Web and X-Men, we cannot contain ourselves. So what we're going to do right now is for all of the members who are part of the channel, if you guys want to come hang out with us come hang out with us afterwards, if you know what I mean, on the membership after party. We're going to be hanging out and talking about more of all the things that we love right after this live stream. We're going to go live on the member side of things. So come hang out with us, guys. We cannot wait to talk more about, I'm seriously, we need to start talking about more Madam Web conspiracy talk, because we need to start thinking about, okay, what's going to happen with all the 3 different Spider Women that we saw? Are we going to get sequels to that? We could go on all night, but before we do that, Drizzleberry Pop-Tart. Oh boy, so excited. Drizzleberry Pop-Tart, where can we find you? What's next for you? And just give a quick sign off before we head out.
You can find me most days behind the speedway on 86th Street, but between the hours of 5 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. before the local dump truck comes by to pick up the trash. I'm picking up whatever I can find for free because, as I said, I don't have current monetary income. I live off social currency, and IPL does not let you pay your electric bill with social currency right now. So any monetary fundage will help in this case. This is why I'm all bundled up right now.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. And some of those super chats we want to give to you, and we'll make sure to put it towards your GoFundMe. And we're gonna. We love
here's what we're gonna do, Max. Here's what we're gonna. I just MaxiPad, Drizzleberry Pop Tart. This is what I'm gonna do for you, because I have found so much success recently on the Riz Factor.
Yes,
Whatever we made tonight, I'm gonna double it. So I'm gonna double it. And we're gonna make sure we get in the right hands.
We're gonna put it towards Drizzleberry Pop Tarts GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Wow, guys, Rizzy Rich here. I mean, they don't call him the Rizzy Rich for nothing. Wow.
Yeah. And guys, like, if you see Drizzleberry Pop Tart trying to like just tag himself into somebody's electricity, help him out. Like, don't just stand there. Don't if someone calls the cops on him, tackle the cops, okay? Like, don't let them get to them, okay? All right.
Yeah,
for everyone. It's for everyone.
Speaking of super chats and you doubling the money that we've received tonight, I did actually miss one, so I wanted to make sure I got a hold of Dylan Lindsay for $5. Thank you so much, Dylan. We greatly appreciate it. And he says, I just got here, not sure what's happening, but I'm here for it. And I love that positivity, man. I love that. Not really understanding maybe some of the nuances of Madam Web or maybe some of the creative decisions in X-Men, but still being here for it, still being inclusive and accepting of the space.
Open-minded, just open-minded, Dylan.
Open-minded,
being here to understand that, to become a more equitable person. I think it's great. I think it's great that you were able to just clear your biases and your any like prejudices that you might have, and just be here with us in this moment.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much, Dylan, for the $5. And that will, like we said, Rizzy will be matching that and doubling it for Drizzleberry's campaign. So speaking of Rizzy, what do we got? When can we see you next on the Riz Factor, my man? Because, bro, you were just killing it over there with the amount of subscribers and the revenue that you were gaining. I can't wait for the next episode of the Riz Factor.
I mean, look, we have the Riz Factor every Saturday night. So perfect time to come hang out. Most of you are off work. If you're having to work, that's okay. We understand. We do encourage you to work this or watch this while at work. But Riz Factor every Saturday night, and then every Monday we start the week off by getting glizzy, baby.
Let's go, boy! The Glizzy King.
Yeah,
okay.
boy. All right,
Glizzy Gobbler, my man.
And I'm so glad I was here. I gotta say, MaxiPad, thank you so much for being a bastion of hope. Thank you so much for having this channel, and thank you for bringing this. This crew. I don't know if we'd be here without you. So thank you for bringing this crew together.
Oh my gosh, no!
Like all of
you. No,
we are brothers and sisters for life.
Amen.
Brothers, sisters, and they thems for life.
Yes, thank you for saying that. Yeah, truly, like it is not me. It's just the universe. Universe puts out good vibes, and we just like universe just put us together, and so that's all. We're all about good vibes here. We're all about positivity. So we just found each other because we all love nerd stuff. Movies and comic books. That's just so nerdy, and we just all found each other through that. So. Speaking of Dylan,
together. We came together.
We came all together in the same spot, and it was such a enlightening experience. So, thank you, Dylan, for becoming a member. And Dylan, make sure to come hang out with us after the show on the members after party.
That's right. Come join our human centipede after the show.
Oh, it's gonna be so great! I can't wait. And before we head over there, though, the Superior Soy Sparrow, what's going on, my man? Give us some of the things that you're working on, the inner workings of what you're going to be doing next. Where can we find you? And thank you again for being here.
Yeah, Maxie, thank you so much, my non-binary otherkin from another mother. I love you so much. I love you having me here. You guys can find me on Blue Sky. I'm often on there talking about how I'm very successful. I'm writing I don't know if you guys know, but I'm writing comic books for films that are being produced by one of the greatest directors of our time, Brett Ratner. So he's working on some new stuff for Netflix, and I'm actually writing comic books. And so I'm crazy successful. I'm doing so well. Just owning the chuds every day. And on there, you can find the link to my Ko-Fi so that you can give me money to buy groceries and pay rent. Just sometimes I'm like, in between these great projects that I'm doing to own the chuds, and in between my great success, sometimes I only have like $9 in my account. So if you guys could just kick some money over to the Ko-Fi, that'd be absolutely spectacular. I would really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Plus, I think Sage might be stealing money out of my wallet when I'm sleeping. So,
he deserves some of that too. Soy Sparrow.
Well,
so
he does.
He does.
I mean, he's really giving my girlfriend a lot of orgasms, and I know that's why he can't go to work during the day, because he's like really super tired, and that's why. I mean, right after this, I got to take him some Gatorade, so that he can replenish his fluids.
And a cigarette, maybe too. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the, I call it dibs on the rear. Spirit brought up earlier. I call it dibs on the rear of the centipede.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's fair.
That's the best part. That's the best place to be put on the
Oh man, he just shotgunned us. He was like college shotgun. We're all getting in the car.
Oh man. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's so great. Well, thank you, Superior Soy Sparrow. We love having you on here, and you're always such a voice of reason in this community. So we love that. Guys, you all know where to find MaxiPad. Once again, thank you for listening to our Madam Web spoiler review and our X-Men takes. Oh, we cannot wait for all these great products to consume. And the next product is going to be just as great, if not better, than the one that we already previously have. And thank you to our Pfizer sponsor, BroFlow. We cannot do this without them. I know I use it every day. Shout out to BroFlow. You guys are the best. Now, before we go, the last thing on the list tonight, we may have spoken poorly about him previously. He's got some problematic people on his stream, but Josh McDonald himself, he is a gay man who truly represents the best of us. I mean, he's better than all of us. Let's be real, guys. And we want to thank him for his generous donation for 5 gifted memberships. That is huge, Josh. So if you are out there in the chat, Josh, we thank you so much. We do request, and please be positive with your channel. We want you to get more guests on there. We would gladly come on. We just don't want to be associated with those types of people. So please just think about who you're having on the show. But thank you to Josh McDonald for the gifted 5. And because of that, I'm going to play one of my favorite songs to come out as of recently. And I just want to just to play this for Josh, because this is how much I'm so grateful and thankful for his donation. It goes right back to us watching all these movies and reading all these comics. So here you go, Josh. Thank you for your donation.
Respect to the trans community. Fuck you, trans fools.
Trans people are my friends. Trans folks come catch these hands. Trans people are my friends. So respect them for we're going in. Trans people are my friends.
Yeah.
Trans folks come catch these hands. Trans people are my friends. So respect them for we're going in.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
That's a whole vibe.
An absolute vibe. Thank you all for being here so much. We love you guys, and we will see you next time that we have another Nerd News podcast, another Nerd News show, and hopefully we can get the whole crew on. We love you guys. Thank you again. We can't wait to see the next Madam Web or the next
Craven, man. Your Craven's coming soon. Deadpool.
Oh, Craven! I love Craven! Oh my god!
Oh, we're going to talk about it right after this. Come hang out with us at the after party. We're going to talk about Kraven and X-Men and Madam Web. It's going to be great. Bye.